Hello, Keegan. Welcome back. This is my second take of doing this because I'm gonna let this play in the background while I speak. I was going to do an edited down version. I have a script here, and it ended up being half an hour, and I started trying to edit it, and my ADHD not wanting to do work brain couldn't commit to doing a lot of stuff in the level of quality I would want it, right? And so I was realizing that in the corners I was trying to cut to get myself to finish it, I was making a worse product for you than if I just did it live like this. So this is going to be a little scuffed, but the alternative was basically a podcast. So basically, I'm going to refer back to this over and over to make sure I'm hitting my points, but don't worry about reading it because I will just say all of it. Basically, like I said in the text that you actually haven't opened yet, which is kind of funny. I found myself kind of like not being able to stop thinking about this set in the Robin matchup, and in my weird hyperfixation, I have spent most of my evening doing this. I've I did a lot of numbers and data and charts and stuff. It's kind of like the way you kind of do VOD review, or at least the way you showed me to do it that one time, which started with looking at every way you got hit and seeing what you can surmise from that. And basically, I went through the entire VOD. It's only 6 minutes, but and I noted down every hit, how much percent it did, what the move you got hit by was, and what the situation was, give or take. Combos weren't a really big deal, you know, in something like me versus Otis, where we're playing two combo characters. There's a lot of stuff where it's like, okay, well, he hit this move, and then he hits like all these other moves because he's comboing, and we're not going to count those. That wasn't really a thing here because you guys are both playing sword characters with, one or two hit confirms. And so most of the time, I would just note that it's like, okay, he hit this move, but it was just because it was a follow-up. And that was considered when I was doing all my data. The only thing that I am kind of combining into a combo is Arc Fire and Arc Thunder into a follow-up because of the way that they are multi-hits, that typically he comes and he like hits you out of before it's like done doing its whole thing, meant that it was hard to separate the damage from, you know, how much of this damage was Arc Fire versus how much of it was the forward air follow-up or whatever. And so I just combined them. If you've seen the spreadsheet, there's a lot of these like Arc Fire plus Fair, Arc Fire plus F Throw, Arc Fire plus Fair, Arc Fire plus F Smash. And I'll just be referring to all of those as Arc Fire. I think the follow-up is unimportant. It's just you got an opening off Arc Fire. Once I had all that, I broke it down. I took it over here and I gave them two tags. One tag for what the opening move was. It helped to list it out again for some reason. And then another one for what the situation was. To kind of go through here, a lot of these won't end up mattering super hard. But landing was when he caught your landing. Corner pressure was when you were in the corner trying to escape back to center and you got punished for it. Getting comboed was when he hit a combo follow-up. Getting hit out of advantage was when, like, say you were ledge trapping or you were mid combo and you like overextended or you know did something wrong and he was able to flip it on you and suddenly you were getting hit. Landing is just down here again. Laser is, you know, a lot of those like quick and easy thunders like he does at the very start of game one here. He just kind of like throws them out much like a Falco laser, for example, and some of them follow up and those ones aren't categorized as laser, but the ones that are, it's just like, okay, they're laser. Ledge was when you were getting ledge trapped. Out of shield failed is, there's a really good example of this Arc Thunder Dare for punished with a B. Let me see, can I find that really quickly? Third stock, 126. Really, you do that here? No, that's not the one I'm looking for. Am I stupid? We're doing it live. Oh, it's this one. Okay, 15.9. Which is here earlier in the stock, 24.5%. So that's here? Question mark? No, that's still not it. Oh yeah, that's definitely not it. It's a different 15. There it is. 19.7. Start the next game. Sorry. Just give me just a sec, and I will be able to demonstrate what out of shield failed means. So, not this, but this, where you try and side B out of shield, and he's still able to hit you for it because of arc fire. That is up B out of shield, or just out of shield failed. There's recovering when you were recovering and you got hit off stage. Running up to him is when your approaches got punished by him, like throwing out a projectile or whatever. Sword neutral is what I'm referring to when you guys kind of like were scrapping up close, and it was kind of messy sometimes because it's not what he's comfortable with. If I can find here when he runs out of arc fire, I think shortly after you guys do it, kind of. This is kind of it, but not really, because he's... Okay, so like here. This, when you guys are like... You're just playing like swordy neutral, and he's clearly not comfortable with it, and he's trying to run away and stall for time. That is swordy neutral. There's a lot of hits you got out of it, and there's some hits you got out of it. So that's sword neutral. And then with punish is just when you missed a move and he punished it. So from that, I was able to get a bunch of stats about what was hitting you the most, what situations you were getting punished in, and I made some graphs and stuff, and so we're going to look at that. Across your 6 stocks, you took 806.3% damage. I can highlight it down here to help. Of that, the highest chunk of damage here is from Arc Fire and Arc Thunder. They did 299.2% and 154. I'm going to zoom in a little, actually, to try and help you see. Damn, how far do I got to zoom in? Can I do, like, 200? Okay. Hopefully this is visible for you. I can't really tell. But Arc Fire did 299.2%. Arc Thunder did 154. Total, this was 56.24% of your overall damage taken. The next highest move is Nair at 5.42. And I actually want to talk about... so this is the number of times he used the move. So like Arc Fire, he hit you with 16 times. On average, it did 18.7%. Arc Thunder did a higher average, 25.7%. Looking at these number of times used, most of them are 1s and 2s. Outside of Arc Fire and Arc Thunder, there are 3 that get hit more than twice. It is Nair, F-Tilt, and Thunder. And I want to take a second on each of these. Thunder was mostly laser. 4 of the 6 were laser. 1 of them was a combo follow-up, and 1 of them was a edge guard, like he hit you as you were falling back to stage. Nair, I believe 2 of them were combo follow-ups. 1 of them was catching a landing, and I forget what the other one was. And then F-Tilt, like 2 of them were in that up-close swordy neutral. 1 of them was you landed directly on top of him, and there was another one when he rolled past you. So starting with the F-Tilts, this is his option. We keep talking about how he doesn't like up-close gameplay. He wants to like dash back and projectile. He wants to stall and wait for his projectiles to come back. When he is forced to be up close, F-Tilt is his like go-to panic button. We talked about Thunder is mostly laser, and Nair is mostly combo follow-up, which means of his common moves, it is lasering, panic buttons, and follow-ups on combos in advantage state, which starts from Arc Fire and Arc Thunder. I'm not really concerned about F-Tilt panic button. I'm not really concerned about laser, which means really even these other moves that are used a lot are only happening when you're already in advantage state, which he's getting into advantage state by opening up with Arc Fire and Arc Thunder. So, so these are like the big moves to worry about, right? And you might be like, okay, yeah, we already knew we need to deal with Arc Fire. Good to know about Arc Thunder is there too. You know, it's time to start labbing, figuring out how to deal with it. But actually, here is the kind of crazy part. So this is a chart. It's kind of messy. Don't worry about it for now. I'm going to keep it really messy for a sec so it doesn't spoil my point. It might still be spoiling, but so it's stock 1 through 6. It's like stock 1, 2, 3 is game 5. Stock 4, 5, 6 is game 2. And it's how much damage you took in each of those games. And if we narrow this chart down so it's just showing us Arc Fire, you'll see you took a lot here in game, or on your very first stock. You took 90. But then as the game goes on, you're taking like way less and way less and way less. And it spikes back up a bit at stock 6, but stock 6 is one where you live to like 150, 160. So it's kind of inevitable that's kind of going to happen. And so while we might not be able to put our finger on exactly how you're adapting and what the changes you're making are, but the numbers bear out that as the set goes on, you are getting around it better. You're giving him less opportunities to use it. It is not being nearly as much of a problem. Arc Thunder is a little weirder. It kind of spikes on 2 stocks here. And I'm familiar with these situations, but you're going to have to give me a second to figure out where the timestamp is. So this is from about 53% on stock 2. Oh, we're like at perfect spot for it almost. I think you're actually just going to do advantage here for a minute. But, okay, so there, you get hit by that. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. Yeah, I'm not. There we go. Where is it? Spam down the corner, neutral get up. Give me 1 sec. Actually, give me 1 sec in general. I'm going to let this play for a sec. I need to text Kaylee, because I don't want to leave her ignored while I do this. So I'm looking for Arc Thunder. There's big ones on what, stocks 3 and 5, right? So it's here at 84% on the last stock. So it's a little bit ahead. So we're gonna look like around here. There's something that pops up. You kind of follow up on him good for a second. That's nice. We're waiting for around the next time that you get hit. Which I think is going to be around over here. He gets past you. Oh, no, just kidding. You have to tilt him. He gets past you eventually. I think he rolls. No, he jumps. That's right. Nope, you still catch him. Yeah, you keep him in advantage for a pretty long while here. But there you go. He catches you with that. There's that arc fire. That is the spot we talked about in the first VOD review, where you are running up to him and then you kind of stop right here because I guess you're afraid of catching him, and for that he's able to hit you. But that's fine. That's like a pretty normal 20%. If we look at the graph over here, Arc Thunder, there's 2 games where it does 0. He just doesn't hit it, or 2 stocks, I should say. And then there's 2 stocks where it does around 20, and then 2 stocks where it does like 50 to 60. And so it's like these 50 to 60 spikes that we're looking at. That is like a normal 20 amount. That's not really why something is getting super high on that list. But if we look, that right there, that is the single highest damaging move he did this entire game. From 126 to 163, that is... where is it? Let me sort this real quick by percent. Yeah, 36.7% that did. And so that on its own is the reason that there's a spike here, is because you got one really huge follow-up off it. And hold on, I'm actually going to stop right here for a sec, because I accidentally skipped a point I meant to bring up. All 6 of your deaths happen off stage, or 5 out of 6 of them do. There's the one counter that you whiff by ledge, but all the other ones, first game there's 2 ledge trap kills, and game 3 it's 3 edge guards, which it sounds not important that he only kills you off stage, but like if you look at this moment, he is doing like, this is his best like idea of how a on stage kill confirm can work, is throwing out one of his projectiles, and that is like what he thinks is the best follow up to try and kill, and you are still living at 160, which we keep talking about it. Dark Adept is really only comfortable throwing projectiles. He does not like to try and get up close and scrap with you, which means he can't get a lot of like strong Levin sword aerials or smash attacks, which means when you are on stage, he cannot kill you until a very late percent. So even when you're at a high percent, you are much safer than you think you are until you are off stage. That being said, let's move on to the second spike on stock 5, which is starting at 24.5%. So here, yeah. So he gets you off stage here, kinda. So there, it's very brief, but he catches you running in after you land, and he hits you with a rapid jab, and that's, whatever. And then it happens again, you run in, you get hit by that Arc Thunder, and then you get up, and you run in again, you get caught by that Arc Thunder, and he's just using Arc Thunder to keep you in the corner. That 2 or 3 times he hit you is the other reason that this spiked. So both of them are kind of like weird one-off situations. Good to keep in mind that Arc Thunder comes out very fast. All 3 of the Thunders that aren't like Thoron, the Thunder, L Thunder, and Arc Thunder, all come out on frame 8, which is the same as Lucina F tilt, Lucina buffered up air out of shield, Falco down tilt. I'm not trying to name like counters. I'm listing like moves for you to compare to in your mind of like, oh shit, that comes out really quick. He can like react to me, running up on him like that. So just because he's sitting here charging by ledge doesn't mean that he is unsafe and you can punish. That's really the only takeaway from that. So Arc Thunder, not that big a deal. If we move down to Nair, hold on. Nope. It broke on me. I don't... No, it broke on me. God damn it. Okay. Let me fix. Is it fixed? Did I fix? Did I fix? Hold. Okay. I'm going to assume that it's kind of fixed. Bro. Please. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of moves that we can kind of look at and be like... or no. So this is actually the perfect example. Let me check in my script and make sure I'm not horribly off track here. One sec. So you're dealing with these moves better than you think, right? Arc Fire kind of like falls off as the game goes. Arc Thunder was kind of like a couple weird one-off situations. Oh, and that's just all I had to say about these for now. Whoop. So then I want to move on to specific situations, which is over here. So I think I named all these positions for you already in this recording. Like I said, this is the second one I've done, and third if you count me writing the script. So the first biggest spot where you're taking the most damage is on the ledge, which again sounds like a thing that we know that the first stock was like entirely ledge trapping, but if you notice, the first stock was 3 ledge traps. You neutral got up twice into the arc fire, and then you ledge hanged once. So there was 1. Here is 2, and then here is 3. And so that is 3 out of the 6 times he ledge traps you. And if we look at the graph over here again, and we shorten it to just show ledge, yeah, it super drops off. Stocks 4 and 5, the first 2 stocks of game 2, he doesn't ledge trap you once. And so that's really good to keep in mind, is again, like, you started figuring out how to deal with that. That's something you could watch through their VOD and try and pick out. But I know there's a spot where you like jump. I think you roll around it at one point. You start getting a better grasp on how to deal with it. And again, even if this thing isn't in your head, you don't remember adapting to it, you don't feel like you did anything, that is just a sign that your hands are working better than you're realizing and giving yourself credit for, which is pretty good news, I think. The only other situation that you are over 100% in, or you took over 100%, is these approaches. And we already covered the spots were out of the corner. Actually, no, this is not corner pressure. Where do you take these? Over half? Okay, I don't think I cited the specific things, but again, you took more than half of the damage that you took overall in this second stock, and it falls back off. So you started approaching smarter. I remember specifically the start of game 3, you can kind of see the comparison. I'm sure game 1 is like seared in your memory, but you know, where you run in and you get caught by the arc fire pretty quickly. But then here, you know, you get hit by an L Thunder because you mixed up the timing. But then, you know, you jump around arc fire and you're much smarter about it. And then you run in here, and there's some up close like down tilt and spot dodge scramble situation, but that is a much more beneficial situation than the arc fire is. So that is, you know, you learn to deal with that too. From there, it's the opposite, right? On stock 5. Oh, that's right. It's this corner pressure. This looks like the opposite, right? There was no corner pressure that you took damage on stocks 1 through 4, and then there's almost all of it on stock 5. This is pretty much just that the 3 times you ran in, we already looked at, where he rapid jabbed, and then he arc thundered, and then he arc thundered, and you were trying to run in because it looks safe when he's charging, and it just isn't. So, again, not a super big deal once you realize that that's just faster than you realize. I don't need to go through all of these categories because it's kind of the same story over and over again. You know, caught your landing. It's pretty strong early on, and then fucking drops off and you never see it again. Getting comboed is, you know, a kind of similar deal. You get a little comboed on your last stock, but generally it falls off as you go. So it's that, or it's... wait, where's a good example? It's something like this, right? Where... because you are taking away damage opportunities that he was getting before at ledge, he has to replace that with something else. And so he has to find all sorts of new options. Like, he covers your recovery a lot more in this game. Or he's able to hit a lot more whiff punishes and stuff like that. One that I really want to show is sword neutral. where again it's like that up close scrapping. Like this is you taking more damage, right? But that is emblematic of the fact that up close sword neutral scrapping is happening more, which is something you want and he doesn't. We'll touch more a bit on that later, but like, yeah, as time was going on, you were dealing with his really strong options and kind of taking away his or forcing him to use his less great options, which makes stuff look a lot more spread out. So then lastly, I want to look at the reverse. I want to look at how you did your damage. So to break down by move, let me zoom in for you. You're not going to be surprised here. Your highest damaging moves are F tilt, fair, nair, and up B. Together, that makes almost 70% of all of the damage you did was from these 4 moves. And there's not another one that you used more than twice, or at least landed more than twice, I should say. The moves are really unimportant here. I think what's much more important is where you got your damage in situation. And in here we see you did your most by far in sword and neutral. When you force him to get up close and scrap, you were able to find most of your damage there. You found a lot out of shield too. A lot of the time you were being forced to trade, but there was the time that you did up B, and it worked extremely well. I'm actually going to try and find that really quick for you to demonstrate. So this is, he is at 67 on the first game. So yeah, that's like here. He's going to come on stage and arc fire, and you up B out of shield. And you trade with it, but it is like a full-on trade where you get to like whack him really far away. And you were able to get a lot of damage out of your out of shield options. Your own ledge trapping is really good. When you were able to get him off stage, you were able to ledge trap him consistently for fairly long periods of time. I think we got stuck looking at one of those a minute ago. Completely unironically, genuinely, your ledge trapping is better than mine by a good margin. That's a skill that you've clearly like spent time thinking about and working on, and it's paying off for you great. It's also validating for me, who gets fucked up by it pretty often when I don't remember to jump because I have a lucky get out of jail free card. Your number 4 you might not think about is dodging projectiles. You feel like you can't deal with projectiles very well, but again, by the end of this game, he was not able to get nearly as much damage off of, like, arc fire and stuff because you were getting better at dodging. I can't, actually, I totally can. Let me, hold on. I'm lost. Okay. Let me find a spot where you do that for you to demonstrate, because I know that there is a specific one I have in mind. This one. 9.6 with an up tilt. I believe that's over here. Yes, he was at 44 on first stock. So like right here, I believe you like jump over the arc fire as you're approaching. So yeah, he kind of throws you away and then you die. We're not worrying about that, right? We're worrying about he's in the corner. He wants to throw the arc fire. You were able to like jump over it before it came out, and you were able to do that. And so you like. Again, even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't remember making those adaptations, your hand and your autopilot is starting to make those for you, and you're starting to deal with those better. I do want to jump all the way down here to the bottom with comboing. You only hit one like extension, like one time. Like combo is just any move where you hit him because he's already in hit stun. There's some times where you like kind of chase him, right? Like you set up for a tech chase and then you get on the platform and you shoot like whatever. As far as any like linking one move into another move, you did this once with the fair into fair when he was at 58.9 on first stock. Let me find it. Yeah, so right here you do fair into fair for an extra 9%. I know I said in the initial VOD review that better follow-ups and options aren't really the main thing I'm concerned about, and I stand by that, but when you are hitting this little, and there's a lot of ones where you just like whiff, I think it's worth spending some time getting to really know your percent windows down to like, sometimes if a combo window doesn't start until 10-20%, it feels like it's like, yeah, I mean, it just basically starts at 0, but it doesn't, and that's just a waste combo where you probably could have gotten something otherwise. The other option is you can do what I do when I don't feel confident that a combo is going to link and just like wait for the defensive option to come out and then punish that instead of going for the combo. But like ultimately you can win any matchup without doing combos and links and stuff, but you are like doubling or tripling your damage output for every link you do. And so by not doing that, you have to win 2 to 3 times as many neutral interactions as you would otherwise. So it's definitely worth thinking about and trying to spend some time on and just like learn. So our takeaways are that Robin can't kill you on stage. He kills you off stage and at ledge. His biggest neutral openers are Arcfire and any of the 3 charges of Thunders. Feel free to camp those out. Know that they come out very quickly, deceptively quickly. You were getting punished a lot because, you know, it seems like if I run in now, it comes out slow enough that I'll get there in time, but they come out very quick. When you get him into a situation where you're comfortable, you start winning a lot more. Just like I try and push people towards jumping in the air so I can anti-air and combo, or just put them on the ground where I can down tilt them and start a combo. Just like anywhere where I can get them into a combo, because that's where I feel comfortable. You can kind of start framing your game plan around like getting them into ledge trapping, getting them into like up close sword style neutral if that's not where they're comfortable, and because it is where you are comfortable. You run up and shield a lot to get out of shield options. That works really well too. That's the stuff that you're comfortable with. It's starting to make itself more apparent in a set like this. And then work on your follow-ups and combos. That's the summation of all my data. I want to remind you I did this completely of my own volition. I'm under no impression that you expected this or even wanted anything like this. I did it because I enjoy doing it and I wanted to do it. And it's like almost just a fun coincidence that I'm able to give this to you to hopefully learn something from and help. I can share this spreadsheet with you, but it's also like it's pretty busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. You know, it might be hard to read. So if you just have any questions about it, I can also just like answer, and you don't have to read it yourself. But yeah, you have responded while I was recording this, so I'm going to upload it and send it over to you. 26 minutes. That's much better than the last one. Yeah, I sound very tired. I don't know why. I feel totally fine. I sound upset or depressed or whatever. I'm chilling. See you tomorrow. Quite excited.